Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my boyfriend. Say hi.
What's up?
And today we're gonna be talking about how I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, you guys are probably surprised, some of you guys. But that's why I haven't been on here for the longest, because I just, been going through it. Now I'm better though. So yeah, where should I even start?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we started dating in 8th grade, and we are now graduated from high school, so it's been about 4 years. We started dating May 23rd, 2016, but we were we dated for a year, and then we broke up for a year, and then we got back together, and we've been together ever since. Yeah, basically. And then so fast forward to I think March of this year, which is when this all happened. Okay, so the day that I found out, I was actually working. I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and I was closing that night, and I already had a very stressful day. I was very stressed out because it was just a really tough day. As you guys know, if you work in fast food, it's really stressful. So yeah, it was the end of the night. I was cleaning the ice cream machine. I got covered in ice cream. It was a disaster. I started crying because, it was just, I slipped back in concrete, and it was just terrible. And then anyways, I had went to the bathroom, and then it was actually the day I was supposed to start my period, and I noticed I didn't start it. So I was a little concerned, but I never once thought that I was pregnant, just because we've been together for so long, and that's never we've always been safe and all that. And so it was really a surprise, to be honest. I had just texted my sister and was like, hey, can you go buy me a pregnancy test? But in my mind, I really just wanted to do it to stop stressing out, but I really never thought it was gonna come out positive. So fast forward, I get home, I take the pregnancy test, and it comes out positive. So my reaction is whenever I get super shocked, I don't really have a reaction. So I was just shook for a good 10 minutes, and then that's when I actually started crying. My emotions came through and all that. And then I had immediately taken a picture and screenshotted it and sent it to Cameron, and then that's how he found out. So how did you react to that?
I mean, when she texted me, I just pretty much, I didn't really know what to say. It was
Did you even believe it?
No, I didn't believe it for a whole week.
Yeah, he really didn't. He thought he didn't think it was a prank, because he knows I wouldn't prank him about that. But he just didn't he thought something was wrong. It didn't feel real. Exactly. Feel real. Especially because that day I had taken a plan B. And usually with plan Bs, they're 99% accurate. So it was just really crazy how we ended up being that 1%. But yeah, so that's how I got pregnant. It was really rough, especially telling my parents. I actually kept it from my parents for a few weeks. But I honestly didn't wait that long. I think I was about 6 weeks pregnant when I decided to tell my mom. So the way I told her is I took her to the park one day. And I took her to the park one day, and we were just walking, and I just remember it felt like the longest walk of my life, literally the longest walk of my life. It seemed like there was no end to this walk. I feel it's because I was so nervous to tell her, and I knew that when I got back to the car, that was my plan to tell her. But the walk would just not end, and she kept wanting to do all these other little trails, but little did she know I was pregnant. I couldn't do all that. So then she was surprised, because I'm usually a very athletic person. I do a lot of exercise. So she was just confused as to why I wasn't going with her. But then yeah, fast forward, we get to the car. So then I just I was dude, I have to do this. I keep postponing it. I just have to tell her. So then I was just Mom, and then I just started crying. And then she was just what's wrong? And then I told her, I was I'm pregnant. And then she's what? And then she started crying. And it was just a whole mess. We were just both crying. But it was a really, really big relief that I told her, because that's something that my parents are Catholic. They're very religious. They go to church every weekend. Like, I grew up in a very, like, you know, religious family. So, like, I just didn't know how their reaction would be. But I know, like, from the beginning, though, abortion was never an option because I just, for myself, personally, I would never do that. I don't judge other people who do that, but, like, for me, I don't believe in that. But, yeah, so that happened. I told my mom, and she was like, so what are you gonna do? What are your plans? And all this. She was still in shock, though. Like, we had, like, a really silent car ride home. And then when we got to my house, we were just parked for a second, and then she just told me, she's like, you know, go to Target or wherever, go get yourself some vitamins, you know, do this, do that, and I'm gonna schedule you a doctor's appointment. Then she scheduled me a doctor's appointment, and then on that same exact day, like, I was really furious to tell my dad. I was scared to tell my mom already, but, like, I already knew that my dad would take it, like, 10 times worse than my mom. But, like, I didn't even have the courage to tell him. I was going to tell him, even though, like, I didn't want to, but my mom told me to go to sleep at my aunt's apartment just in case, you know, anything bad, chaotic happens. So then she was gonna tell him. So I was like, oh, thank God, you know. But anyways, so I went to sleep there, and the whole time I was just so nervous, you know, because I didn't know how he was gonna react, to be honest. And then she told him, and then he called me the next day, and then he was like, come home, like, don't stop running away from your problems, which in reality I wasn't. It wasn't my choice to be there. I would have been at home, but my mom just, you know, wanted me not to be there just because she didn't want, like, you know, in the moment when you're really mad, you say some hurtful things, and she just didn't want me to be around that. So then that's why. And then I came home, but that day was actually like this little graduation ceremony for me at my school. So like I was supposed to come home and talk to him as soon as I got home. But since I had that, I had to come home because I was at work to change and go. So like it was an awkward situation because like he saw me for the first time since then, but he couldn't talk to me. And it was still really furious. Like I remember I was upstairs changing and like he came to my door and then he like just started like screaming and saying like, I need to talk to you, like come out to talk to me and all this stuff. I don't remember exactly what he said, but then like yeah, I just started crying because like I just felt like really, you know, bad. But yeah, I went to my graduation and then we ended up staying there till like midnight because the line was so long because it was like a drive-by drive-through thing. And so I was the last one to get my diploma, so it took very long. So by the time I got home, I couldn't really talk to my dad, and I think he thought I was avoiding him because he didn't know. So yeah, he was already asleep when I got home. So then the next day comes around and he wasn't home, and then so I just stayed home and I waited till he got home from work. And then I came downstairs and like, Dad, like we can talk now. And then we sat down, and the whole time, you know, my heart was racing. I was really scared. I didn't know what to expect. But finally, he had time to calm down. So, like, my number one advice to people going through this, and you're scared of your parents' reaction, if your mom happens to tell your dad, or your dad happens to tell your mom before you get the chance to, I feel like the best thing is to give them a day or two to calm down and just process everything before actually like confronting them about it, because you know in the moment they might react completely like different than they actually would if they had time to calm down.
As a dude telling your parents, I feel like you should just be like, you made a man decision. I feel like you shouldn't be scared in the first place. You just tell them. You tell them straight up. You be a man about it.
That's true.
That's my best advice.
But yeah, anyways, I sat down with my dad and he was very upset at first. He was talking very calmly though, which thank God, because I prayed for that. I was so scared that he was going to scream at me and all this. But he was just telling me, asking me for advice and just telling me like, this is not the future I want for you. However, you know, all I can give this child is love and affection, and I will help, you know, with as much as I can, but that's all I can really do. And then he just started crying, just saying how like, I just wanted the best for you. That's why like I'm so like upset and disappointed. But you know, things happen and abortion's not an option. That's what my dad said and my mom. So in the end, they were both really supportive, even though they were really upset. But honestly, who's not gonna be upset that their teenage kid is you know, pregnant? Any parent would be upset. So I mean, it's natural. They're obviously going to be disappointed at first, but the best thing to do is just tell them as soon as possible. Don't prolong it, because you need to go to the doctor, if you know, to check up to see if anything's wrong. And so the longer you wait, the longer it'll take, especially because when you make an appointment, you won't get it right away. Like, you can make an appointment and it only will be scheduled like the next month or something, unless like it's an emergency and something's wrong. But yeah, so that's my best advice to you guys. Just, you know, tell them as soon as possible and everything will be okay, hopefully. Now you tell them how your parents found out.
So basically, I told my grandma first, just because like I'm just close to my grandma. I told her first, but my grandma ended up telling my mom without me even telling her. My mom was real mad. I had to go to her house the same day that she figured out, and when I got there, she was just disappointed, of course, like any parent would be. And then she was just crying and told me that basically you gotta be a man about it. Like, that's it. There's nothing else you can do but that. Yeah, then my mom told my dad. So my dad picked me up and I get in the car. Of course, it's like awkward and stuff. And then,
Wait, did he already know then? Like, when you got
yeah, he already knew when I got in the car.
Oh.
I forgot how it went, like, what was first said. Like, when I told him, he wasn't even, like, mad like that. Like, it wasn't even that serious, it seemed like.
But it's like,
Like, they made jokes and stuff like that.
Didn't he, like, ask you, like, dude, don't you have something to tell me?
Oh, yeah, that's how it was, that's how it was.
That's how it was, yeah.
He said, "No, you got something to tell me?" And I told him. I'm like, yeah, I do. I told him. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, it
But
wasn't
yeah.
that much.
Yeah,
with my
it was
dad.
easier on him, but I feel like that's just because he's a
Yeah.
guy, to be honest. And like,
Yeah,
obviously,
that's
it's
it.
easier for guys just because they're
You
not.
gotta be a man about it. There's no excuses for you. You know how it is. It's harder for us.
But yeah, now we're good, you know. But yeah, the first month was pretty difficult after telling everyone what happened. But you know, it's something that gave me a lot of strength over the time that I had to cope with it and deal with it. Cause you know, it's something that makes you automatically grow, like no matter what. Like you grow a lot from it. It's like a really big deal, obviously. And so yeah, I don't know. Now I'm really happy about it, and now I am 16 weeks pregnant today and 5 more months to go. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much everything that happened, and just a little update on my life. And just for you nosy people, I have actually been with him for 4 years. Been together for a very long time.
Yeah, we've been thugging since day one.
You're ugly. Alright, but like this video, share it with all your friends and family, and subscribe. And we will be back with more videos for sure.
For sure.
Peace.